Back here for our final block of the sweat on this tasty Tuesday. Matt Meiselman, DraftKings contributor, NBA guru. We got to dive into these two games tonight, man. We got the Celtics, the Grizzlies, also the two home teams here looking to avoid falling in an 0-2 series hole to their opponents. I think a lot of people, Matty, expect the Celtics to bounce back, but will they win by a wide enough margin here? The spread now at 5. It was 4.5 earlier today.
So I promise I have something useful to say here, but to me, this is the right line. So
okay.
I don't really see this as a great bounce back spot in terms of the spread. I do think the Celtics will win. I think they're the slightly better team. What I think is important to take away from game one is that Chris Middleton being out, it's not as big of a deal as people think. And my biggest evidence for that is in the way the betting line reacted when he first got hurt. So for that subsequent game after Middleton didn't play against the Bulls, the line opened at 3, dropped to Bucks -1 because he was out, and then bounced back up to -3 even though he wasn't playing. Like, he basically didn't impact the point spread. So all of that is to say that I think the Bucks are still really, really good. And the bet that I'm most interested in for this series is really whoever wins it to beat Miami. I think these are the two best teams in the Eastern Conference, even if Middleton's not playing. So I think either the Celtics or the Bucks are going to the finals. I'm really not sure who it's going to be, but I do think the Celtics win tonight.
It feels like maybe the under is the side to back too. Do you agree with that?
I don't know. I mean, it depends if there's really any scheme changes between these teams. Obviously, game one was very low scoring. I think it's hard in the playoffs with totals sometimes because, especially with the way game one went, we could see the Celtics play smaller. We could see Derek White maybe get some more minutes compared to Grant Williams. That could help out with some scoring. So I don't know. It really is going to depend on adjustments. I'm really not sure there. But just from game one, yeah, I think you'd have to at least be interested in the under.
Yeah. Managing the Celtics only 89 points after averaging nearly 114 against Brooklyn, which the Celtics found out the hard way that the Bucks are not the Nets. Let's get to the late one here. So we knew Draymond Green got ejected in the game. The Warriors were able to overcome that. They were able to knock off the Grizz. Grizz had a chance, an opportunity there at the end. Do you think Curry and company walk out of Memphis with a 2-0 series lead?
I actually don't. I like the Grizzlies in this game. And I think there's been this narrative that Curry didn't play his best game. He was in foul trouble. Clay obviously didn't play his best game. Peyton was in foul trouble. Draymond didn't play the second half. And then despite Morant and Jaren Jackson having great offensive games, the Warriors still won. And therefore, people are interpreting that as, well, if things go right for the Warriors after going totally wrong, they still won. Everything went wrong. Now, if things go right, they'll just win by even more. But one, Jordan Poole is not going to put up 31, 9, and 8 every game. Like, they got a huge boost from him. He played better than probably Clay would have if he were in. And then Dylan Brooks and Desmond Bane did basically nothing. So I think this game ends up being more balanced on both sides. I think that the Grizzlies defense probably plays a little better. They were just terrible in transition, specifically against Poole. But I think these teams are really even, and the Grizzlies need this game. They're at home. I think Desmond Bane will be fine to play at least. So I like them to win this game. And then just a quick thing to throw in here at the end. We have a prop on the Grizzlies to win tonight and win the series, plus 550. I don't think the series is over. I think Memphis is still certainly a good enough team to make this competitive. So if the Grizzlies are going to win the series, they're going to have to win tonight, most likely. Going down 2-0 with 2 home games would be a big hole to climb out of. So if you're going to bet them to win the series, I think you take this combination where they win tonight and they ultimately win the series. But the last point is the Suns are better than both of these teams. I think we saw that last night. Phoenix is really good, but I do still think Memphis is in it against Golden State.
Yeah, I like the Bane call there because he was just 1 for 5 from 3 the other day, but shooting 47% from deep this posting. And he was 3 for 10 from the floor. He's unlikely to struggle like that again.
Oh, so, yeah, absolutely. Unless he's really hurt, which is a concern, but I don't think it's going to be as big of a deal as people think. He'll be out there. He's very, very good offensive player, and Morant may score less, but I think Bane scores a lot more, and maybe Brooks scores a lot more too.